Hello and welcome to our newscast. I'm Hwang Jie, live from Seoul. President Park Geun-hye once again has given welcoming remarks to North Korean defectors and offered to help them settle here in South Korea. This as she held a meeting with her National Unification Advisory Council on Thursday. Song Ji-sun reports.
President Park expressed regret over North Korea's obsession with its nuclear program and said the exodus from North Korea continues because its people are fed up with starvation and oppression, with even high-ranking members of the elite making the journey to freedom.
지금 북한 정권은 가혹한 공포 정치로 북한 주민들의 삶을 지옥으로 몰아넣고 있습니다. 이것은 북한 체제가 비정상적인 방법에 의존하지 않고는 생존조차 어려운 상황에 이르렀다는 것을 잘 보여주는 것입니다.
With the number of defectors now topping 30,000, the president vowed to support them with all necessary measures so they can adapt and settle down in South Korean society.
저는 고통받는 북한 주민들이 대한민국에 와서 자신의 꿈을 자유롭게 실현하고 행복을 추구할 수 있도록 모든 길을 열어놓고 맞이할 것입니다. 특히 탈북 주민들은 미리 온 통일로서 통일 과정과 통일 후에 남북의 주민들이 하나가 되는데 커다란 역할을 할 중요한 인적 자원입니다.
President Park also pledged to provide accurate information about the outside world to the North Korean people so they can recognize their own rights and freedoms. Song Ji-sun, ARIRANG News.
The top U.S. diplomat for East Asia says North Korean leader Kim Jong-un would almost certainly be killed himself if he ever attempted to use nuclear weapons. Daniel Russell, the U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for East Asia, said that from Kim's perspective, he might have the ability to carry out a nuclear attack, but there's hardly any chance he'd survive the overwhelming military response. He said for that reason, such a tactic cannot be his plan A. Russell also labeled North Korea's claims that it's developing nuclear arms for deterrence foolish and stressed the nuclear program weakens Kim's grip on power rather than making it stronger. The world's longest reigning monarch, Thai King Bhumibol, has died. The Southeast Asian country has now started a year of national mourning, a clear indication of the level of devotion the Thai people have for the royal family. The Thai Prime Minister asked that nobody let the country be taken advantage of in its time of crisis. Barry Welsh reports.
Thai King Bhumibol Adulyadej, the world's longest-serving monarch, has died at the age of 88.
King Bhumibol Adulyadej had been hospitalized at Sidiat Hospital since Friday 3rd October 2014. He died peacefully at Sidiat Hospital at the age of 89 and had been on the throne for 70 years.
The revered king's death ends 7 decades on the throne, during which he became a unifying father figure and rare source of stability in a country that has weathered more than a dozen coups since he came to power in 1946 at 18 years old. The Thai Prime Minister, Prayuth Chan-o-cha, said that an heir to King Bhumibol has been designated since 1972 and that the government would inform Parliament of the choice.
My beloved Thai people, despite how sad we are during this time, the beloved nation of the people and of our belated king has to uphold. This country has to keep going. The king wished to see his kingdom move forward, people live with happiness and compassion. Don't let his wish be obstructed by his death.
The heir has not yet been announced, but it is widely expected to be Crown Prince Maha. King Bhumibol was a much-beloved monarch, and his passing leaves Thailand in a state of mourning and political uncertainty. Barry Welsh, ARIRANG News.
The United Nations has elected former Portuguese Prime Minister Antonio Guterres as the next Secretary General of the world body. He will succeed South Korea's Ban Ki-moon in January. Park Jong-hong has the details.
The 193-member UN General Assembly has officially and unanimously elected the next chief of the global body. Outgoing Secretary General Ban Ki-moon called Antonio Guterres a wonderful choice who brings deep and solid political experience to the UN. In his acceptance speech, Guterres expressed the need to fight for peace, alluding to the burgeoning threat of terrorism and xenophobia around the world. In particular, he said it's the world's moral duty to help put an end to the suffering in war-ravaged Syria.
I feel a deep solidarity in relation to the Syrian people. And to see the Syrian people suffering so much, it's something that absolutely breaks my heart.
He also highlighted the importance of gender equality in his speech, calling it a priority commitment of the UN to protect and empower women. Guterres had served as a Portuguese prime minister from 1995 to 2002 and as the UN High Commissioner for Refugees for 10 years until last year. He will start his 5-year term on January 1st, 2017. Park Jong-hong, ARIRANG News.
And here in Korea, 10 people have been killed and 7 injured after a tourist bus burst in flames on the Gyeongbu Expressway on Thursday night. Police in the southeastern city of Ulsan say the bus was carrying 20 people when one of its tires exploded and slammed into a guardrail. The people who survived the inferno were taken to hospital to receive treatment for smoke inhalation and other injuries. The passengers were retirees of Hanwha Chemical Company and their spouses. They were on their way to Ulsan from Daegu Airport after returning from a trip to China. And that wraps it up for now. Thank you for watching. I'm Hwang Jie, and do stay tuned to Arirang News for more updates at 10 a.m. Korea time. Goodbye.